He began to let go. Obinna woke up before dawn, his chest rising and falling as though he had been running through a storm. The room was quiet, but his heart was not. The dream still clung to him like a shadow that refused to fade. He could still see the hospital room clearly. The white walls, the sound of machines, the way his mother's voice trembled as she called his name, weak and desperate, as life slowly slipped away from her. He sat up on the bed and placed his feet on the cold floor. For a long time, he stared at his hands. These same hands had built businesses from nothing, had lifted his children into the air, had signed deals worth millions. Yet in that moment, they felt small, like the hands of the boy he once was, helpless and waiting. Beside him, his wife stirred. She opened her eyes and immediately sensed that something was wrong. She reached out and held his arm, grounding him in the present. "You're awake early," she said softly. Obinna swallowed. "I had a dream." She listened quietly as he told her everything. The hospital bed, the fear, the sound of his mother's voice fading away, the overwhelming sense that time had run out. When he finished, the room fell silent again. His wife did not rush to speak. When she finally did, her voice was calm and steady. "Some dreams don't come to scare us," she said. "They come to warn us." Those words stayed with him. Obinna did not go back to sleep. Before the sun fully rose, he was already on the road. The city was still waking up, the streets calm and empty. As he drove, memories passed through his mind like old photographs. Hunger, rejection, silence. He thought of the boy who stood in the rain in his dream, calling for a mother who never answered. He realized something then. He could not change what had happened to him, but he could decide how it ended. When he arrived at his mother's house and knocked on the door, his heart beat steadily. Not with anger, not with fear, but with purpose. She opened the door slowly. When she saw him, her eyes widened in shock. For a moment, she said nothing, as though she was afraid he might disappear if she spoke. "Obinna," she whispered. He nodded. They did not rush into each other's arms. There were no dramatic tears or loud apologies. Instead, there was silence, heavy, honest silence. The kind that carries years of unspoken truth. "I came because I don't want regrets," Obinna finally said. His mother lowered her head. Tears fell quietly onto the floor. "I know I failed you," she said. "I don't expect you to love me. I don't want to die knowing I never tried." Her words did not erase the past, but they softened something inside him. From that day, Obinna made a decision, not driven by emotion, but by wisdom. He did not force closeness where it did not exist, but he chose responsibility. He bought his mother a small, comfortable house in a quiet area. Not too big, not extravagant, just enough to give her peace. He employed people to take care of her, a cook to prepare meals, a cleaner to keep the house neat, and a caregiver to ensure she was never alone or neglected. It was not an attempt to buy forgiveness. It was an act of dignity. His wife supported him fully. She never complained. She never reminded him of the pain his mother caused. Instead, she stood beside him, understanding that healing does not always look like happiness. Sometimes it looks like peace. During school holidays, they sent the children to visit their grandmother. At first, the visits were short and cautious. The children were polite, curious, unaware of the weight of history that surrounded them. Slowly, laughter returned to that house. Slowly, life softened its grip. Sometimes, Obinna's mother visited them too. She watched her grandchildren play, watched Obinna interact with them with patience and love, and saw clearly the man he had become. A man she did not raise, but one she deeply respected. That Christmas, Obinna and his wife decided to travel to the village. It had been years since he last returned, years since he faced the memories buried there. The village welcomed him differently this time. Not as the unwanted boy, not as the struggling apprentice, but as a man who had risen. It was there that his stepmother and step-siblings approached him. They came humbly. Gone was the